To another video. I haven't made one in a while, so I decided to kind of jump on that ship today. I'm in my office returning some emails, so I decided to pop on here. I wanted to give you a little preview of my upcoming book, Motherhood, A Joyful Exhaustion. If you ask me how to sum up motherhood, that's always the term that I've used for a few years now, and so I decided to make it the title of the book. I liked it, and it sums up for me personally how I feel about it, because that is it. I find that I am exhausted 99% of the time, but there is so much joy in it that that's literally what keeps me going. So what I wanted to share with you today was a little peek at the cover. This is the very first paperback print, and I got it to review just to make sure everything is correct and that I like it, and then it will be available in early July. As soon as I have the date for that, I will be sharing it for pre-order purposes. So if you want to pre-order, you can certainly do that. I want to give you a little bit of info just so that you kind of know what this is all about. I am very much a very strong topic for me, a very passionate topic for me, is motherhood. I feel like we're in a modern mothering world that is full of a lot of pressure and full of a lot of unnecessary things. And I know this is just another opinion thrown out there. It doesn't mean it's the perfect one or the right one. It's just me. I'm just another voice kind of throwing out there of my thoughts, and you can agree or disagree. It doesn't matter. It's just another voice of a mom putting out there in hopes that I hope that we have more kindness and understanding in the mothering world, because people are very catty now, and mom groups are scary, and I'm just being honest from my own experience. I'm really not keen on a lot of it because of my experience. Mind you, I'm 1000% loving when, in general, women are supporting women, whether they are a mother or not. Sorry about that. I want to read you part of it, one of the parts of it, just so that you have an idea exactly what to expect. There are several sections in this book, and it is poetry that I've written over the years since becoming a mom, and it is ramblings. The reason I call it ramblings is that I'm not sure what else to call it. I wouldn't call it chapters, but it's just kind of my thoughts broken down into whatever the title is, whatever the theme of that section is. But I kind of talk about from birth to through motherhood. The experience of birth for me, as scary as it was, with an emergency C-section being my first and stuff, all those little things together, it was still a very sacred experience for me both times. So I discuss postpartum depression as I have gone through it, and I am still going through certain things myself personally, and I want to share that because I don't want anyone to feel alone in their feelings. And I kind of, at the back of this book, there is, not a back, it's in the last section, there will be, one second here, sorry. I have a section that is called Inspiration for My Fellow Mamas, and it is a little workshop for you. And it is literally probably about 10 to 15 pages, maybe more, maybe a tiny bit less, I forget. And it is, you work on it as you go. You don't need to sit down and do the whole thing, but it's about reconnecting with yourself as a woman and as a mother as well. Letting you recognize what you may need for this journey and so many other things. So an example would be, I have goals, creating a vision for your future. You are here now, where did you come from, as a section. Before motherhood, it's kind of rekindling who you used to be and bringing them forward in the sense of, you can be the you now, of course, but you can have a bit of your old self back in the midst of it. And then, goodness, there's so much here. But pretty well, yes, it's a little workshop for mothers at any stage. It does not have to be you don't have to be a new mother or anything to read it. You can be at any stage of motherhood. You can be in the trenches of it like myself. So I'm going to read with you a small part. This part is called Be Your Own Leader. And I'm going to read that with you today, just so that you have an idea kind of what parts of the book will be like. When I became a mother in 2012, there was already a shift happening. What do I mean by shift? I feel like as time goes on, there are more ideas put out there and more strong opinions of how someone should be a mother. With every year takes over bit by bit. The center of this is to rush. Now you know me, I am so the opposite. You may disagree with me, to each their own, but I feel like this pressure of getting so much done and pushing our children to milestones like a race is not healthy. In motherhood, we are already pressured in the day-to-day life. We are already criticizing ourselves enough. I open up social media to headlines of articles that read, "Cried out, get some sleep." "Potty train your child in 3 days, guaranteed." Why are there time frames? Why do we need to take a baby that cannot even hold their head up yet and make them self-soothe themselves to sleep without understanding why? Yes, this is a strong opinion too. I am not a Jedi Master, but in my experience of watching this motherhood realm, the pressure is only getting so much worse. We wonder why postpartum depression is rising. We wonder why we are stressed out. We wonder why our children are having anxiety and other issues at earlier ages. This should not be happening. We should be taking our damn time and following a path we build ourselves with the help of our children. You cannot post a Facebook status online without a dozen opinions about how books suggest it be done. I am all about sharing our experiences, but we do not need opinions pushed in front of us if we are not asking for them. We can say we stopped sterilizing our baby bottles at 6 months and feel content about it, even if someone says you should wait until 12 months. When our 3-year-old is outside in the winter without mittens for the 5 seconds you chose to take that photo, and then have a comment they should be wearing them, when they were wearing them 95% of the time they were outside. When you choose not to breastfeed, you did not even want to try, and someone says your child will not have the same connection, and you should at least attempt. The opposite. You breastfeed, and someone says, "Don't such post a graphic photo." All of this and more is building into a crazy level of constant judgment in our motherhood realm. This happens outside of social media too. You can be anywhere, and comments like this just pop up, and sometimes you do not know how to respond because you are genuinely shocked. I was at a local play place with Emmett and Samuel just this past weekend. I was feeding Sam a banana cookie, and a parent, as they walked by, said, He's old enough to eat that himself." Did I ask for your thoughts? If I want to break off pieces of a cookie for my 18-month-old, Mama gonna do it. Soon enough, he will be off doing it himself, but for right now, I want to. You are simply enjoying a morning with your children and find yourself being judged simply by how you feed your child. When I see parents and children eating together, I honest to goodness just see them eating. I am not dissecting how they eat. My brain is already too busy in our day to really care a whole lot what someone else is eating or how they chose to present it to their kids. Just in the 4 years between having a newborn Em and then a newborn Sam, the shift just keeps going. Pressure built more on mom life, what we do, how we talk, what feeding style we're using for our 6-month-old. I may have an unpopular voice in this culture because I do not believe training or style should be used in this life. I do not think about that as I raise the boys. I go about the day doing what works for us as a family. The saddest part for me is watching other moms in this shift. The pressure is building, and you can see them trying to catch up and be approved by it. I am not looking for approval. I feed my kids. I clean them. I teach them. I love them. It is never perfect. There is always a little chaos. Being a mom is already a tough job, rewarding, but can be hard on the head some days. Sometimes even for a few of them. I don't need any more coal dumped in the train car. I want to take the train without any extra baggage and figure out the path on my own with my children. So if you are a mom who reads into all these pressures, stop. Sit back and reflect on how you feel about it. If some things do not feel right, you don't have to follow. You can take charge and go forward somewhere else. If you do not want to buy fruit and vegetables and make your own baby food, go buy the packaged stuff. If you want to try and attempt to make it on your own, then go buy the blender and write that grocery list. You need to find your way that gives you the best feeling. It may not be what your mom friends do. It may not be what you see on TV or Instagram. You do you and stop worrying about it. I am on your team, and the more choices you make that work for you, the less stress you will have. I promise you that. To the folks who like to comment or speak up to a mom and their choices, reflect on your comment before you hit that enter button or say it out loud. Take a moment to think, is it kind? Is it inspiring? Is it really necessary? Really think on that before you do it. We have our own voices in our mind with worry and mom guilt. We do not need more on top of that. I can say we all second guess our choices as parents more than we would like to admit. It doesn't mean someone cannot share their experience, but that is all you express. But it is all how you express it. We should all be able to share our stories. We all are different, of course. Tell it. Put it out there. It doesn't mean someone is going to do the same or think the same as you. It does not mean they are wrong if they do not choose that way. So take a look around. Recognize when something is part of the shift. I feel like it is going to continue and swallow so many moms up whole. Breaks my heart to think of the stress and panic some will feel. Look the other way. Feel your own way. And let your mama spirit guide you. Do not fall into the pit of the right books or styles that say it is the best way. You are the best way. You alone is the mother of your child or children. When you see another mother always being encouraging and helpful, not judgmental. Our shoes all walk so many unique paths. Wear yours and be comfortable in where they take you. We all need a little more of the kind word, the helpful hand, the joining together of an important community. Mothers are significant. They are the foundation. Let us help one another, build each other up. Let us help one another build up instead of criticizing each other's blueprint. Each one of us has something to offer. Let us become a village once again. So that is a section part of it. And I really, really, really have a lot of strong thoughts, as you can probably tell. I think that we're getting so caught up in what we're supposed to be doing and what rules we're supposed to follow, and there really are no rules in motherhood. We just need to do what we're going to be doing. I want to read one more thing for you, and then that will be it from me today for the next little bit. Just trying to find something here. 1 second. This is what happens when you do one of these videos. I have not had the time lately to throw something together, so I apologize. This isn't like edited fancy or anything like that. Alright. So, this is a poem from the book, and then I will leave it at that. It's called I See You. You are not invisible. In fact, you are the sun in the clouds shining over those beautiful, flourishing mountains. I know sometimes it feels like you are rowing the boat for everyone. You keep an eye out. You make sure everyone is warm and fed, buckling all the safety jackets, when in fact you are all the safety they need. You are never finished. You have an ongoing list. When you are not doing it, you are lying in bed thinking about it. I know it's hard to shut off. You just won't feel settled until you get it done. It started long ago, and you can't remember when you were not taking care of everyone. You wake up, and all the seeds of your day are planted in the family garden. You want everyone to grow and bloom, but do not forget to water your own flower bed. We all need the sunlight, the air, the freedom, even in short moments. Sometimes it gets cloudy. The rain comes down a little harder. You may even feel it staying a little longer. Acknowledge how you feel. Do not decide that a storm is your existence. You are better than that. We need to nurture and balance ourselves as much as we do our loved ones. Take time, take moments, recognize what you need. This will not disappear overnight. Life is not instant. Only social media is. There are no quick fixes, but things can be rebuilt with love and hope. Breathe and rebuild. I know it is not easy, but we can get there, one self-care step at a time. You are the vessel for your family. You are the heart of the home. Take all the time you need. Everyone is a work in progress. It may take longer for others. They will get to the destination eventually. I see you putting together the pieces of the day to make sure those that matter are okay. Just remember to put together your day too, Mama. You matter too. So that is the poem that kind of tags along with the Be Your Own Leader. They're kind of together. You'll notice when you read it that with each section there's kind of a poem with it that wraps into what I discuss. So that is it for me. I'm sorry it's such a long video. I did not expect it to be. So I'm going to stop this now, and I am going to get these uploaded. So thank you so much for the support, and Motherhood, A Joyful Exhaustion will be out in early July. So thank you so much for the support always. I am so grateful. Thank you.